right, Shirley, anytime.
Okay. My name is Shirley.lawrence. I'm an advisor at Sunlight. My job entails doing a whole range of stuff. Okay, but for the purpose of this exercise, I will just go through just typical things that I would go through with a client, okay? The first thing is, if you open up your folders, we have this pamphlet, okay? Achieving Your Lifetime Goals, just a company profile, okay, that tells you a little bit about our goals, our visions, our mission, and our values. And, you know, basically our commitment to you and how strong our company really is. One thing to note is that we've been in business for 140 years, and I think that's a milestone. Okay, we're strong. We've bought many other small little companies that needed to be helped out. So, like Prudential, MetLife, Clerico was the last one, you know, or in this one group now. Okay. Typically, when I sit with a client, if you will take out the pamphlet, a financial strategy you can count on. Okay. Okay. I actually start off by telling him, if you look at the pyramid, that's basically everything that I do in a nutshell. Okay. Some of the stuff I only advise on. Okay. And some of the stuff I actually probably take action on, you know, depending on the circumstances. Okay? If you look at the pyramid, okay, starting from the bottom, okay, the darker red, will and power of attorney, okay. Okay, let me first start with if you look on the left side or right side, whichever it is, okay, okay, this pyramid is categorized, okay, and I always work from the bottom up, okay. We have the non-controllable events, controllable priorities, and then growth opportunities, okay? That's like, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? The important things, and then, you know, yes. Okay, so what I advise on, okay, and it's very, very important. The dark red bottom one, the will and power of attorney, okay, it is one of the most important things. And people think that just because they're not married, they don't need one. But believe me, you do. Because later on, I think more so the single ones need it more than anybody else, because everybody will be grabbing this stuff, and, you know, you know how it goes. So, and also it's just a nightmare to die without a will, because then you leave the people falling around and having to try and figure things out. So it's unfair on those that remain. Okay, so that's one of the things. If the clients want referrals, I have people that I can refer them to. I give them usually 3 names, depending on where in the city they live. I have, you know, attorneys north, south, east, and west. Okay, or they can go to their own one. That's only if they need one. Now the other one is the non-controllable events, okay? That's becoming dependent, that's, you know, well, let's start from the bottom. Dying prematurely, okay, suffering serious illness, becoming disabled, becoming dependent, suffering health issues, okay? You know what I mean? That. And usually that's where I stop for the moment, because you cannot overwhelm people with lots of stuff. Because, you know, when I get to meet a client, okay, we start a relationship. So we go through one thing at a time, okay? Even in this purple pyramid here, I may only just address life insurance, depending on the circumstances. If it's a young person starting their business, and you know, they don't have a family, I would probably start disability, because you know, well, actually I'm going to go to the next step right away, because then I'm going over to I'm going a bit too far. In your little folders, I have, well, it's an advice to somebody, but it's actually a financial needs analysis. This is just an exercise that I did. It's nobody. It's just on, you know,
Simpsons
Ned
characters.
and Maud Flanders. Okay. Now, if you go, I'm not going to go through all of it. Okay. When I sit down with somebody, I also do a financial needs analysis, and it can be very quick and it can be very complex depending on the person. You know, it can be a simple one. You know, you've got your husband and wife, and you've got kids, and you want to like take immediate steps to get your house in order. Okay. So if you read through here, I take a lot of things. The bottom line is I get all your assets and liabilities and your needs together, okay? And it will, well, we have a computer program, and then it will do the calculations. And on your last page, page 5, okay, you will see what is actually needed for life insurance. And that's the bottom line, okay? You see the details, total coverage needed, Ned and Maud. Okay, it just gives you a breakdown. Additional coverage required, the last line. Okay, then it will tell us that. Now, you can either take all of that if you can afford it. We've got different types of insurance, the permanent being more expensive than the term. I usually go for selling the term because, you know, and a 20-year term, and that depends if you can afford that. It's not really that expensive, especially when you're young. You all know that the younger you are, the less you pay for insurance. Okay? And the older you are, it just goes up. And the rates keep dropping for interest sake. And the reason for that is that people are living longer. Okay? And basically, I mean, I'm not going to, like I said, my time is limited, so you can go through this and you see what data I actually input in here. This is just a life needs. I have a critical illness needs analysis as well, disability, as well as retirement planning, okay? And yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what I do. So I don't really thumb suck stuff except if somebody's, and I always try and do what the client wants, because I sometimes walk into clients and they just headstrong, they just want mortgage insurance. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. You know what I mean? If they say we want 300,000 life insurance to cover our mortgage, and that's what I'll do. But for somebody that's really interested and serious about planning, I go through this. So it's, well, I like to do it so that people know where they are and where they need to be. Okay? And last but not least, okay, I have the more choices, more options, more choices, more control. Okay, and this is a pamphlet that I give to clients who have life insurance, mortgage life insurance with the banks. Okay, and this is just a pamphlet that tells them the difference. And life insurance from your Sun Life Financial, and it's not necessarily Sun Life, because I always tell them it could be any company, but it's as opposed to banks and mortgages. And lenders. Banks and lenders. Okay, and you know, the differences are listed there. The main ones being, okay, mortgage life insurance with the banks is on a declining mortgage. Okay. If anything happens to you, the bank will just say, thank you so much, your mortgage is paid. The policy is always owned by them because they're the beneficiaries, okay? You can't name a beneficiary, and, well, you know, that sort of thing. Whereas with us, if you take out an insurance policy for $300,000, something happens to you down the line, and your mortgage balance is $100,000, we will still pay you the $300,000, okay? You decide whether or not you're going to pay off the mortgage, and you keep the change. You know, whatever you decide. The policy is in your name, it's yours. You name a beneficiary, okay? And one other thing is that you're not really required to have life insurance, for your mortgage. It's just a responsible thing to do. Okay, and especially if you have a family, it's worthwhile considering having individually owned. And we usually come out cheaper than the banks because they are not the specialists we are, but they want a finger in every pie. Yes. Mm-hmm. So basically, in a nutshell, that is it. If you need to ask me any questions, or later on, afterwards, you don't remember it today, then you can just contact me on my. Yes, the home number does not work. I've moved out of that, and I have another home phone number. You can call me at any time. I'm available. If you want to take my home number, it's up to you.
Sure.
Okay. It's 403 685 7693, and my cell number. I've got new cards printed, by the way, so I'm getting new cards, and they didn't come on time. And my cell number is 403 991